Kevin Parada has been on base in 25 of his last 26 games, had a 20-game on-base streak that was tied for the longest in the Eastern League this year, and hit 300 for the month of July. So without further ado, we'll open it up to questions.
Yeah, so since July, you've had an OBP nearing 400. How important do you think it is to not just find pitches to hit, but also just work counts and work at bats?
That's part of the game. You're just going to win, and sometimes you're not going to get a pitch to hit. So you got to take your pitches and take your walks when you get your chances, and allow the rest of the team to do what they do. And that's what we've done really well in the last couple months, in my opinion, and it's what's helped us win a lot of ball games.
Yeah, and offense is obviously the most visually enticing part of the game, but as a catcher, defense is arguably just as important.
Mm-hmm.
What is it like working with so many talented pitchers that have come through the Mets organization? Whether that's guys like Christian Scott, who just made the majors, guys like Brandon Spurt, who just got to AAA. Like, how does that help sharpen your defense and educate you at the professional level?
I mean, it's fun because they have big league stuff. Obviously, they got picked for a reason, and you get to work with them on a daily basis. You even get some big league rehabbers, so you're always just working with guys at the highest level or going to be at the highest level. So it just lets you measure out yourself as a catcher and what am I doing right, whether it's game planning, throwing, catching, any part of the game. It's nice to work with guys that are going to get a shot or have already gotten in the big leagues. It's a cool opportunity.
Yeah, and if there's one skill, obviously power on base, as a catcher, there's always defensive tools as well. What is the one skill that you feel like people don't talk about enough when it comes to you that you want them to know it more?
I think it's about on base when it comes to hitting. It's not just about slugging the ball. When it's like you got to find other ways to get on when maybe you're not necessarily hitting as well as you would like. So it's like you got to swing at good pitches, use your eye. Like I said, walk, because it's like you're not always going to slug the ball. You're not always going to be the best version of yourself as a hitter. So you just got to compete out there and let those opportunities come.
What adjustments have you made at the start of the season? It seemed like you were struggling a bit at the plate, and for the month of July you hit 300. Are there any adjustments you had to make to get to that point?
I mean, I feel like there's adjustments throughout the season you have to always make, and some of them it's like you go away from who you are as a player at times, and you just got to find ways to come back. That's what the best do at the highest level, is they just get back to themselves faster than anybody, and that's part of the learning curve that I've found out through this season. Is like I'm going to have times where I'm going to struggle, and I just need to find who I am as a player. And I feel like the last month of July, I've just really stuck to who I am, and obviously when you do that, usually good things tend to happen.
I was talking to Mark Vientos recently. He had a similar answer to a question I asked, and he identified himself as a right center, Apo.
Mm-hmm.
What do you identify yourself as in terms of the hitter? Who are you as a hitter?
It's actually really funny because I'm very much the same way. It's like I know I can pull the ball, but it's like if I'm hitting the ball hard to right center field, Oppo, like that's my bread and butter, and I know that the power and different things will come with doing that. But it's like when I'm at my best, I'm hitting balls hard to right center.
And then you mentioned Brandon Spurt before. What can you tell us about him from your perspective behind the plate?
I mean, he's an impressive arm. He's got all the stuff, in my opinion, to be a big leaguer, and it's part of the game. Just got to keep playing the game. I know he's going to get his opportunity. I don't know when, but I'm excited for him because he's really impressive and enjoyable to catch.
What was your first encounter like with Spencer Jones after the draft in 2022?
Oh, I'll say we partied a little bit. Like I'll say we got to spend some good time together, and because obviously we both had gone drafted in the same year, and we're both from California, so he just happened to be up in LA at the time of the draft. So we just got to celebrate a little bit together. But Spencer and I, we've played each other basically every level all the way up, so it's been enjoyable because it's like we see each other multiple times a year. We text every once in a while, so you just get to keep interacting, and that's the camaraderie of baseball. It's like doesn't matter who or what organization you play for, you just get to meet all different guys and all different personalities, and he's one of them I just enjoy spending time with or talking to and catching up whenever I get a chance.
Why'd you stop wearing the Rex specs?
Literally probably last week.
Why?
So I just wanted to try contacts out, and like I was told some things by eye doctors where your glasses might be like the sharpest vision, but if they move at all, they can alter your vision. So they recommended that maybe contacts would be the way to go, and so I just started trying them out and thought that I've felt really good using them, so I've just continued to use them.
You missed the look though.
You know, it's a look, but yeah, it's a look, but you know, it is part of the game. You know, I got to make the adjustments to help myself in the long term. So if I have to switch out of contacts or from the rec specs to the contacts, then that's part of it. You know.
Did you ever go rec specs just without the lens?
Yeah, actually, yes, I do laugh. Yesterday, I wore sunglasses every single at bat, but it was just different because the first couple times I was like touching my face, and I'm like, wait, there's no sunglasses here, or no glasses. But I think the biggest difference was like learning with my glasses, I'd get a little bit of glare cut already, and so it's like wearing contacts now. It's like, oh, now I understand why guys wear sunglasses during day games because I never had to before.
Go ahead.
Kevin, how much do you value this current series? I know you guys are about 1.5 games behind Somerset, only 3.5 out of first place in division. And then you have the Subway Series rivalry at the AA level.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really value the rivalry, or are you just focused on the team wins and trying to get to the top of the division?
I mean, right now it's just about winning. It doesn't matter who you're playing. Obviously, we're playing Somerset right now, and it's important. And I mean, even if you talk at the big league level, it doesn't matter who you're playing. Every game counts the same. It's just obviously some of the division games mean more. So that's how I feel about this. It's like whether you're in AA or in AAA or the big leagues, when you're playing the Yankees, like it means something to the city of New York. So it should mean something to you as a player. But in the end, every game matters. So it doesn't matter if you're playing the Yankees, the Red Sox, or even the Dodgers, any other team. It's like you got to go out there and compete and win.
How gratifying would it be to get to the big leagues with the Mets, playing the Yankees, playing a market like New York?
I mean, you can't just playing in New York alone it would be an awesome opportunity. And it's like, yeah, you're playing against the Yankees. It's people talk about their 27 championships, and it's like they're the history of baseball as a lot of people know it. So it's like you want to be that, you want to compete against the best, and that's part of the opportunity of getting to that level.
Who was your team, and who did you grow up watching, and like who did you model your game after?
So I grew up watching the Angels from Southern California, and honestly, I've loved watching Buster Posey when I was younger. He's obviously not playing anymore, but now it's like I like watching JT Realmuto. I like watching those types of catchers. It's like they didn't just catch. It's like they can hit too. You got to do both to play at a really high level and compete. But in the end, like they're there on championship winning teams, on teams that are competing in the World Series every year. And it's like that's the goal of any baseball player, is to be at the big league level and win championships. And so it's like you want to model your game after guys that have or are doing that.
How about Suarez yesterday? An end of late.
I mean, he pitched amazing. You know, he went after the hitters, and I mean that's what we talk about. No matter who's in the box, is like when pitchers go after them, it's like they have the advantage. And Suarez pitched great yesterday, and it's really fun to catch when you get guys like that.
Yep.
When Francisco Alvarez came down to make his rehab appearance, it looked like he was talking to you guys a lot. What was the biggest takeaway for you from that appearance?
I've got to talk to Alvy a lot, whether it's spring training or even when his rehab assignment. And it's just, part of it is just, again, like I was saying earlier, you got to play your game. Like, we're always working on something to get better at, whether you're throwing, receiving, game planning, hitting, but it's like, in the end, you still have to be yourself and trust who you are, because that's the talent that's gotten you to this point. And it's like, and it'll continue to grow as you develop other traits to become a better baseball player and more complete baseball player.
If there was one pitcher that you could face, that you want to face, you're dying to face him, who would it be?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I feel like everyone talks about Ohtani, like, and from being from LA, growing up watching Ohtani, and now he's with the Dodgers, so he's still in LA. I think when he's back pitching, like that, it should be a cool at bat, and then just think like that guy just threw 6 innings last night, and now he's in the box the next night, and it's like you think about doing that, it's just that's a different level. Like I know how hard it is to just catch and hit, and I know some guys know how hard it is to just pitch. So I can't imagine doing both.
What do you think you top out at right now if you were to throw off the mound, like today?
I have no clue. I think if I threw my absolute best bolt, I might touch 90, maybe. But that I really don't know. Like, might throw my arm out honestly before I even get there.
What a fun group of questions we've got today.